George Ralph Cooper was born on February 24, 1939, weighing in at 11 pounds. He was born in Paris, Texas, to James Rufus and Berta Florine Cooper. He was named George Ralph after his maternal grandfather, George Easley. His friends and family know him as Ralph, Rufus, or Raphael. His love of horses began at a very early age. That love was inherited from his father. He was the second of 3 children. Bobby Janice is his older sister and James Craig his younger brother. The family moved from Texas to California in the early 40s to find work in the fertile fields and orchards. They moved frequently to follow the harvest up and down the coast of California and Oregon. Ralph entered the first of many schools in Modesto, California. In 1949, the family settled in Maricopa, Arizona. His father worked in farming, and his mother worked in the cafeteria in the one-room school Ralph attended until he graduated from the 8th grade in 1953 with a class of 5 students. He had to make a speech that he could still recite even into adulthood. Because there wasn't a high school in Maricopa, Ralph attended high school at Casa Grande Union High School. He met his wife, Vicki Hackworth, in her freshman English class. This is Ralph on freshman dress-up day. He made friends easily, so he became very involved in the social life of high school from the start. He joined the drama club because it had more girls in it. He participated in sports until he found his niche in track and field. With Ralph's help, his track team won many state championships. His pictures still hang on the Wall of Fame in the CGUHS gymnasium. Ralph graduated in 1957 and left home to see the world, working in Arizona and California. In 1959, while working in Yuma harvesting hay, he received a draft notice from the U.S. Army. He called the draft board, saying he couldn't report on the designated day because he was entered in the Payson Rodeo. Needless to say, he reported on time and went to Fort Ord, California for basic training. Ralph came home on leave in October and married Vicki. They got married in Phoenix with lifelong friends Joan and Gary Hill serving as best man and maid of honor. On their way to Flagstaff for their honeymoon, they ran out of gas in Vicki's parents' car on the way up the hill. Despite that rocky start, Ralph and Vicki were married for 52 years. Ralph went from basic training to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, where he attended jump school and served in the 101st Airborne. He made over 20 jumps. This was right before the very first one. He jumped during maneuvers and exhibitions to meet the required practice jumps to receive an additional $55 a month. His last jump before he was discharged was the only one that really scared him. He drifted onto the top of another parachute, causing his chute to lose air. He said that would be his luck to get killed during his last required parachute jump. In May of 1960, Brian Keith Cooper was born in the Army Hospital at Fort Campbell. A short while later, Ralph was released from duty to return to agriculture in Yuma and Cibola, California. Ralph's daughter, Carrie Lynn Cooper, was born in Blythe during the fall of 1961. Soon after, Ralph was recalled to join the Wisconsin National Guard at Fort Lewis, Washington. Vicki and the kids joined him, living in Tacoma. To their surprise, Joan and Gary Hill were also stationed there. Old friends meet again. Upon returning to Arizona, Ralph gravitated back to agriculture and worked as a bookkeeper for Benedict Feeding Company. Vicki worked for Western Cotton Products. They spent a lot of time reconnecting with family, working and preparing to move to Flagstaff so Ralph could go to college at Northern Arizona University. While attending school at NAU, he worked in construction, as a school bus driver, a pizza maker, and eventually as a maintenance man in city housing. Vicki also worked until the GI Bill was passed. That enabled her to also go to NAU, where she earned her degree in elementary education. By then, the whole family was in school. Notice there are no pictures of all this because they were so broke all the time they couldn't afford a camera. After graduating from NAU in May 1968, Ralph went to work for Union Carbide as a sales representative. During the 3 years with Carbide, he was assigned to California, Montana, Wyoming, and Colorado. The Coopers decided to return to Arizona and the cattle business. After working for West Coast Land and Cattle in Casa Grande, they moved to Brawley, California. While working for Western Beef, Ralph was checking pins on his horse, Tequila, when he was buffed off and kicked in the face by the horse. After 3 weeks in the hospital, did he shoot the horse? No, but Vicki wanted to. During that 8-year period, Ralph devoted all of his spare time and money providing horses, saddles, tack, and transportation, hauling Brian and Carrie to their team ropings, gymkhanas, parades, county fairs, and other events. He was a constant attendant and advisor. He loved every minute of watching his kids perform. Western Beef gradually sold out, so the Cooper family moved back to Arizona. Ralph eventually ended up working for Westway Trading Corporation, selling feed supplements to feedlots, dairies, and ranches all over Arizona. He retired in 2000. After Vicki and Ralph retired, they moved back to Casa Grande. They built a house in Coyote Ranch where Ralph designed his backyard using lumber from an old cattle yard that had been licked and rubbed by the cattle. Good friends and family helped finish it off, branding the posts at a party. The Coopers are the only people in their subdivision with an outhouse in the backyard. The first year of retirement, they took an RV trip with Joan and Gary and Jan and Marilyn to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. It became the trip of a lifetime due to Ralph's inability to pull their fifth wheel any longer because of his health. And so they spent summers in Lakeside, Arizona, where happy hour with old friends and family became part of their lazy lifestyle. In 2004, Brian and Carrie surprised Ralph and Vicki with a party to celebrate their 45th wedding anniversary. It was attended by lots of family and friends, and it was quite the surprise. Camping and fishing were a major part of Ralph's life. After learning to fly fish, he traveled to Montana, Colorado, and all over Arizona to find the best lakes and streams. One of his favorite fishing buddies was Vicki's sister, Carol. Many family reunions, picnics, and barbecues were attended over the years on both sides of their families. Ralph loved his family and grandchildren. Carrie's 2 sons, Ryan and Kyle, and Brian's daughter, Sarah, and 2 sons, Brett and Carson, were a great joy in his life. Sarah's baby boy, Lucas, was the first great-grandchild to join the Cooper family. A few minutes to describe a full life of 73 years is very difficult to do. Ralph will be sorely missed by his family and dear friends. But the good news is that he is free to walk and run and ride without effort or pain forever.